doors are open for year number 2 in the USL Jägermeister Cup. The second edition has opened up its breadth for many more teams, but here in Statesboro, we've got 2 sides that have been here before. It's South Georgia Tormenta and the Greenville Triumph meeting here on ESPN+. Welcome one and all to this broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. We're back for year number 2, and here are the new rules. We've expanded the amount of teams participating, so there are 6 groups, 6 group winners who make it on to the playoffs, and 2 wild card teams, which are the 2 next best sides point-wise. And if there's more than 2 teams competing for those spots, most goals scored will push you through. So now that we've talked about the 6 groups that are involved, here they are. Welcome USL Championship to the party, all being invited along with USL League One and the new expansion sides in USL League One. Over there at Group 6 is where we will be focusing our attention down the southeast corner of the United States. Greenville, Tormenta on the northern portion, but it's a nice even 3-3 split between USL League One and USL Championship. Will be a lot of cross-league battling happening in this group. Won't be the case here tonight, though. With that in mind, in case you're unfamiliar with how Tormenta and Greenville have been doing this season, here's a little bit of a recap. It's been a little bit up and down for both these sides. For Ian Cameron, this is a side that has scored a lot of goals, 11 already in league play, which is top 3 in USL League One, but they also have conceded 13 goals, so a lot of topsy-turvy matchups for South Georgia Tormenta. They're trying to find that rigidity, that consistency on the defensive side. Maybe the Jägermeister Cup is their opportunity to reset things. Greenville will also be looking for a little bit of resetting themselves. Their positive is no one has completed more passes this season than the Greenville Triumph. They have been dominating in possession, but they haven't been able to find the back of the net consistently, I should say. Only 5 goals scored in USL League One action. The Jägermeister Cup has a lot of explosiveness in it, so maybe this is a chance to uncap things for Rick Wright's crew. Over 20 meetings between these League One founding rivals. Who starts off on the right foot in this cup competition? Find out up next on ESPN+, lineups and kickoff on the other end of this break. We'll see you then.
I need to try it first.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your comeback starts here. Call today to find out if robotic assisted joint replacement is right for you.
A little comfort is knowing someone's there for you. There for your business. There for your community in good times and in bad. With preparation, hard work, and relentless determination. At Georgia Power, we're there when you need us most. We're here for Georgia, and we're here for you.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Here are your starting 11s brought to you by Optum Sports Medicine. The big thing here for Ian Cameron's side, South Georgia Tormenta, is Sam Jones making his debut with the club here in between the sticks. Just 23 years old from Savannah, Georgia. New competition, it's an opportunity to let Austin Pack sit in the back end. See what they have in this young goalkeeper, 23 years old. What can he do today against this Greenville side that, quite frankly, has struggled to find the back of the net? They also switch out their goalkeeper, Seth Tormenta, stepping in for Gunther Rakenberg. They've been trying to figure out what the combination is attacking-wise, Rick Wright. They got a lot of great weapons in Leo Castro, Rodrigo Robles, Siobhan Marsh, Rapapa Mensah, Ben Zakowski. No option today for Sebastian Velasquez. Came down sick, so it won't be available. But what is the best combination of those players, of that personnel, that will result in the most offensive output? Because they've been enjoying possession, but they have not been enjoying the goal sheet because they've only got 5 of them this season in league play. Certainly hasn't been a problem for this side. The home team, South Georgia Tormenta, having the opposite problem. It's a situation where something's got to give here for one of these two sides. And we are underway, both of these sides in their second campaign in the USL Jägermeister Cup. Well, one of them find some glory here in Season 2 in the Cup competition. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster, excited to be presenting this one for you. All the action on ESPN Plus, the group stage of the USL Jägermeister Cup. 30 minutes ago, also in Group 6, Charleston and Naples kicking off, and at the same time as this game, the Tampa Bay Rowdies and Miami FC doing battle. So all 3 matches, all 6 teams in the group clashing and looking to find their first step in the right direction. Given the fact that this year it's a cross-league event, both USL League One and USL Championship, a 3rd division and 2nd division side in the US soccer pyramid. Breed some excellent opportunities for some cross-league matches to see if these League One sides can keep up with the USL Championship. Of course, we've got 2 League One teams here, which almost makes it more important that either of these sides find a result here so they can keep pace with those quality USL Championship sides that are also in the group. Worth mentioning, Charleston Battery, though, already down a goal against Naples. Still 60 minutes left to go in that game, though. I'm sure there's definitely going to be some league pride that'll be rooted for both fans of the championship and fans of League One. So if you're a Tormenta team, or a Tormenta fan, or a Greenville fan, perhaps you're pulling for Naples to represent the league well and beat Charleston here, at least while the group has not quite formed yet who sits where. I'm sure those league allegiances will go out the window once you get to the 3rd match or the 4th match, when the difference between one result or another can mean your team making the playoffs or not. As far as the new format is concerned, talked to both coaches about it. Ian Cameron, given the fact that the group stage matchups has shrunk from last season when it was just USL League One sides, just 4 games for every single team, even though these groups are more than 4 teams, so really hinges a lot on each individual match. How well you do in each game really dictate if you'll even have a chance in the playoffs. Any slip-up could prove to be fatal. Ian Cameron said as far as if he likes the new format or not, we're gonna have to live through it and see exactly what the experience is like. He mentioned adding the USL Championship into the mix is what we wanted. There'll be 4 big games, no doubt. Here's Siobhan Marsh with the cross. It's over top. Beyond the reach of Connor Evans. It'll be Tormenta to toss it in. It is going to make that upward pathway easier for League One to Championship, because all of these sides are going to get a litmus test to see what players, what teams are showing that they're ready to make that jump. So for example, I'm sure there will be some FC Naples players that are going to start turning some heads. If they can hold off that result for another 60 minutes against Charleston, which is a quality side in the USL Championship, mind you. And on top of that, Ian Cameron was telling me, look, and it also introduces new fans to the brand. So people that maybe exclusively just watch one league or another, They're going to get introduced to some more teams and maybe get more used to the players involved. And, of course, increased knowledge will increase one's attachment. We're going to get our first corner kick of the evening here in Statesboro. From Tormenta Stadium. Soccer-specific home for Tormenta. Tyler Pollock, the long-time Greenville Triumph man, making his way over to the right corner flag. Pollock's service, punched upward, headed towards goal, whistle blows. A player's on the ground for Tormenta. Some contact, knocking over, I believe, Cabral there. And that'll mean that no harm will go the way of Tormenta. As far as just 4 matches being played, Rick Wright said that, yeah, there'll definitely be some intensity because of that, but also, he mentioned that there's probably some talk out there that would suggest that there's not a way a League One team's going to win the Jägermeister Cup. Obviously, being in the 3rd division as opposed to the 2nd division, I imagine that's many people's preconceived notions. But look, these League One teams are going to all bring intensity to this competition. And if you look at it, just from my opinion, I mean, they've got everything to gain and almost nothing to lose by going all in. If you lose to a championship side, oh well, I mean, that would be the expectation, but if you get the victory, then that's all the glory. Robles deflects out, and it'll be a goal kick. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and USL League One. From the academy to the big leagues, Select is there, every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Spinning ball over top, brought down. This one sent to the left-hand side, played to goal, but straight at Seth Tormenta, his first action of the evening. Tormenta, 26 years old. Got starts in the U.S. Open Cup matches. Effort there from Yaniv Bazzini. But ultimately, not too hard of a challenge for Tormenta to handle. Home side, South Georgia Tormenta coming off of 2 losses. A bad loss at the hands of Charleston Battery in the Open Cup, and then last Sunday losing on the road against the Charlotte Independent. And Cameron said, well, the Charleston game was one thing. They simply were the better team. Just outplayed us on the day. But Sunday, he felt pretty disappointed in that result, a 3-2 loss against the Jacks. They had more of the ball, more final third entries. And he said, just had some poor defending. We're not rigid enough. Have to do some soul searching this week and work on what it's going to take to be better on that defensive end, which once again leads to the intriguing point in this game. It's Tormenta, a side that has struggled to stop teams defensively against a Greenville side that has struggled to find the back of the net offensively. It's an opportunity for one of those teams to find a breakthrough here. Tormenta will now try to enjoy some possession here for the first time in the match. They've mainly had to play on their heels here. Nothing doing there, says our head official. Denny Kolasinac, our man in charge here this evening. Service and centrally. Castro plays it across, cleared away. Another corner kick for the Triumph. As far as finding the back of the net when things have been pretty stale, a set piece is always a great opportunity to buck that. Just takes some great execution on a single play. And although it has nothing to do with scoring an open play, it can just spark that inspiration, that creativity to do it in the open field after you've accomplished a set piece goal. Driven ball headed outward. Chapa Herrera on the ball. And in this last game, love to have him back in the mix for Greenville. That was a loss on the road against Chattanooga. The Red Wolves, 1-0 defeat. Rick Wright felt they came out and played pretty poorly in the first half, but they had around 60% of possession. The issue was they had 0 shots, so the first half performance that was in many ways emblematic of the trials they've been undergoing offensively as of late. Possession that doesn't amount to anything can be pretty frustrating. Rick Wright likened it to some of those Barcelona teams from way back that would have the ball till Christmas, he said, but then they'd make one mistake and lose the game 1-0. And that's what happened in that game. A ball that was meant to be lofted up the pitch, deflected off the back of one of the midfielders. I believe it was Carlos Anguiano. And then it fell into the lap for Chattanooga to take advantage of and score. Rick Wright said he had never seen a goal like that before. Rick Wright's seen quite a few soccer games in his life. He mentioned it was also a defensive mishap against Knoxville too that lost in the game. Also in recent fixtures. One thing he did like about that Chattanooga game, they had a bright start to the second half. They conceded a devastating goal, but they kept fighting. They didn't give up. It can really take the wind out of your sails when you just have a calamitous goal of sorts. Now Tormenta into the final third, ripping shot off target. Niall Reed-Steven put some heat behind that one, but couldn't put it on frame. Trying to find that top left corner. It's going to be a tough ask, but the 23-year-old ambitious enough to let it fly and see if it connects. As far as the other Group 6 matches, we'll keep you updated between Tampa Bay and Miami. Along with, of course, that Charleston-Naples game. Long distance effort parried away. Cabral lets it fly, but Seth Torment ready to dispatch it. That one was definitely going to be on frame as Cabral put some knuckle and some heat on it. Seth Torment had enough time to anticipate it, though, and was able to deal with it accordingly. It is a corner kick, though, for Tormenta, their first of the evening. A longtime vet, Oscar Jimenez, longtime vet in the USL Championship, I should say, be the one to provide service. Jimenez headed upward. Still in the thick of things. Reed Stevens taps it up top. Deflects out for another corner. Jackson Simba Kasanzu tried to put it towards goal. So now they'll have a take from the other vantage point.
Let's get hyped for this corner kick here, fans.
Mason Tunbridge will deliver from this side of things. Tunbridge has been a weapon offensively so far this season for Tormenta. 5 goals in USL League One action. They'll play it short. Alves to Jimenez. Not a bad looking ball, headed away by Polak. So here's Sam Jones. First chance to show some aptitude with the ball near his feet. Sam Jones joined Tormenta's Academy back in 2016, then left for 4 years to play collegiately at Winthrop. Now he's back here and now getting the chance to play here in the USL Jägermeister Cup, making his debut. Big moment for the young keeper. Bazzini. Couldn't be kept in play by Alves. When it comes to scouting out this Greenville team, Ian Cameron said it's a similar challenge to what the side posed last year. He highlighted Rapapa Mensah and Siobhan Marsh, both dangerous additions for this Greenville Triumph team this year. Got a lot of threat to them, but they're still trying to find their space in the system. Ian Cameron mentioned that the Rick Wright Greenville model did a number against us last year. They handled our press, and they can be a little bit more direct than the John Harkes edition of this Greenville Triumph team, which there was a stretch where Tormenta really had their number against Greenville. An opportunity developing here. Robles plays it across goal, off target. You were just wondering when he was going to release that one to Castro. Decided to go the whole length himself. Rodrigo Robles, the Spaniard, second-year pro. Some pressure, wins the ball for the Triumph. He's got Castro making that run. Gave him a look, trying to figure out if and when he should send it to Castro. There's Ivan Ajakwa now for Greenville. That opportunity going to the wayside. Oh, love to test the goalkeeper there if you're Greenville. Instead, a shot off target is the final result of that forced error. Polak inside of Robles, playing deep. Service bending in, couldn't find its target. And a shove from Polak will mean a free kick for Tormenta. Handling those direct moments from this Greenville Triumph team, one of the keys in this one for Tormenta. And when there are transition moments, how does his side recover? That's what he was gonna keep his eye out on and told us to keep peeking at as this game goes along. Cabral rolls it up ahead. Jimenez keeps it going along the touchline. Cabral out wide. Something cooking here for Tormenta. Service inside. And a point to the spot. A collision at the 6-yard line. Niall Reed Stevens taken down. Here's a look at the contact again. Steven steps in. Ajak was there with him. Yeah, I'm gonna need another look at this one. That's tough. I mean, you bump at the hips, but you're both playing the ball. I am not a fan of that decision. The yellow card's been issued to Ivan Ajakwa after the fact. He is the supposed guilty party here, but I just don't think that that's the right decision. I think those two players making a play on the ball. If you collide at the hips, I mean, that's not unfair contact. He didn't even throw his hips at him. So with that in mind, though, whether you agree with the decision or not, it is going to be a penalty kick for Tormenta. So now the decision will be who takes this. Mason Tunbridge has been the penalty kick taker at points this season, so perhaps they will delegate that responsibility to him once again. Reiterating, 5 goals already in just 6 league matches. So the Englishman in his 2nd year with Tormenta has really exploded offensively. He'll be going up against Seth Torman. Got a look against Asheville City. Got another look against One Knoxville in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. So the 24-year-old up against the 26-year-old goalkeeper. Can Tunbridge give Tormenta the advantage here early? That he can, just beyond Torman. And Tormenta take advantage of a point to the spot. And the most usual of suspects, Mason Tunbridge, puts it away. The home side take the advantage. I mean, that is a laser point pen taken. Torman got awfully close, but too much pace. Plays perfectly in the bottom left corner. I mean, that's someone who's playing with some confidence right now, Mason Tunbridge. Well, last year in his first season with Tormenta. Prior to that was playing at the University of San Diego. He was a 2nd team All-American there. 33 appearances for San Diego, 12 goals, 13 assists. So a guy who I think was just waiting to get back into goal-scoring ways once he felt out the pro level. And he has now officially opened up his Jägermeister account in 2025. So Tormenta now have a lead to protect. Can they protect it? Meanwhile, for Greenville, can they find a response? Sure, the Triumph players will feel hard done by the penalty decision, but the fact of the matter is, the scoreline's 1-0. So what can you do about it? Rick Wright talking about this Tormenta team. Said they're a lot younger and more athletic. And you pair that with a couple of vets who bring the culture and reinforce it. Mentioned guys like Connor Doyle and Aaron Walker. Although neither of them in the starting lineup. Both available options off the bench and certainly prominent voices in the dressing room. Rick Wright acknowledged that these two teams are similar in the fact that they're still forming as teams, still trying to figure out what's going to make you tick this year in 2025. Niall Reed-Steven drew the penalty that gave them the lead. Tunbridge trying to pop it over top. Now sufficient clearance. It's always an intense match, though, between these two sides. Of course, the original USL League One fixture was Greenville and Tormenta, taking place in Statesboro. Like Ray mentioned, they got a tough venue to play at here, Tormenta Stadium. So the guys are looking forward to it now. They're going to have to show some of that vigor if they're going to respond. The USL on the CBS Sports Network kicks off May with a matchup of NorCal rivals. Oakland Roots SC take on Sacramento Republic FC May 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. No idea if it's going to be Star Wars Day for either of those sides when that game takes place, but it should be. Five minutes in. Controversial penalty decision has given Tormenta the advantage here. Which means at this point in time, all three matches in Group 6, the final group in the Jägermeister Cup, are all sitting at 1-0 scorelines right now. At halftime, FC Naples, the League One side, with the advantage over Charleston Battery. And then the Tampa Bay Rowdies up 1-0 over Miami FC. Jimenez in the right corner against Tyler Pollock. That's two veterans going at it. Tyler Pollock gets the better there. Marsh tried to dance by Cabral, gets fouled. Won't be a booking for Cabral, but I'm sure our head official is giving a warning. Again, just 4 games in the group stages for every team in the Jägermeister Cup this season. Certainly that'll ramp up the intensity on top of the expansion of the USL Championship into the competition. And Cameron saying, well, the math certainly makes the case that's going to be more intense. And he said from a USL League One perspective, it'll also be intense because these players are going to want to prove themselves against these USL Championship sides. Talked about that a little bit earlier. Part of what makes the Open Cup so exciting is when you get the opportunity to see a team from a lower division play and punch up against a competition. Lee, the outside of his boot, tried to spin that one out wide. So this is the portion of the game that Greenville struggled with. They have possession here. They have now gotten almost all of their bodies into the attacking half. The question is, what next? How do you then unlock your opposition and find the opportunities you need? In this case, in this game, to find an equalizer at the very least. Rick Wright told me that the new guys are still getting acclimated. Mentioned in particular for Marsh and Ropapa Mensah coming over from the Red Wolves. They played in a very counter-attacking style. So now they have to, in essence, retool the talents they have, because they certainly have it, both of them being very explosive players. How do you harness that when you're a side that enjoys more possession and is not just operating on those transition counter-attacking opportunities when a side slips up and gives you possession and are a little vulnerable? I mentioned in that Chattanooga game, Rick Wright did that when Leo Castro subbed on. The attack sparked a little bit. The fact of the matter is, though, it's just a learning process, and thinks the biggest thing that's holding them back right now is ball movement, so they focused on that this week. Off-ball movement, I should say. What are you doing when the ball's not at your feet? How are you either A, making yourself available, or B, peeling defenders away, trying to break up their shape? And the fact of the matter is although, of course, the ball is paramount in the sport, you play most of the game without the ball at your feet, so what are you doing during that time? So important. Tunbridge cuts inside. Mason Tunbridge. Nice parry outside. Just a poor touch there. That was a golden opportunity. It's going to go to the wayside. Sebastian Vivas just stumbling there. It's a great chance for the Argentine to get another great opportunity against Tormenta. Look back at that one on the tape and go, oh man, we let him off the hook there. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Rhode Island FC debuts their brand new stadium as they host San Antonio FC on May 3rd at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. That's a former USL Championship champion against a returning runner-up in the USL Championship last year in Rhode Island. Barrera. Play it back out to Fricky. Plays it up to Evans, and Tormenta wins it back. It's Reed Steven once again. Get some more bodies situated forward, Tormenta. And then play that. This Greenville side still trying to figure out exactly the proper configuration they want to do on the back line. Of course, Tyler Pollock and Brandon Fricky have been fixtures forever. How do they want to fill in those two other spots? DJ Benton and Connor Evans have both gotten a lot of shouts at that right back position. Evans also out there playing as a winger. And now Marsh, the left winger, service inside, headed down by Evans. And a goal kick ensuing. So as Tormenta get possession back here, one thing that just was not up to snuff in the last game they played in against Charlotte Independence was their transition defending. When I talked to Ian Cameron about it, I asked him, what's the key thing to get that fixed? What do you need to do to repair that ailment? And he said, well, as far as transition defending is concerned, most of the mitigation is before you lose the ball, before that transition moment, which is as you're attacking, you've got players who are responsible for a new game per se, which is identifying where the residual attackers are and anticipating what will I need to do if we lose the ball here, and then here, and then here. Where do I need to be to make sure that I can put out the fire instantaneously? How can we win the ball back without conceding a breakaway opportunity? Marsh colliding there. And the ref has blown the whistle. That collision happening right on the 18-yard line. Siobhan Marsh is still down. Yellow card's been given to Sam Jones.
Issue to Sam Jones in the 35th minute.
Here's a look at it again. I mean, that happens outside of the 18, the collision. Sam Jones in his professional debut, being given a booking. Now Cabral, the captain for Tormenta, talks to our head official. Waiting to see confirmation if the ref called a penalty here. It shouldn't be a penalty. So we have received confirmation that this is going to be a penalty kick. And this is going to be the second controversial decision by this officiating crew. The one benefit of the doubt worth giving is the fact that these officials do not have the luxury of getting a chance to look at the replay like we do. But I guess in one way you could say that this is a balancing of questionable decisions on both ends of the pitch. It'll be Evan Lee who's up to take it. And the Greenville Triumph with an opportunity to level this one, also via the penalty spot. One-on-one against Sam Jones. One guilty of the foul. Lee steps up, and Lee tracks it wide. He got Jones diving the wrong direction, but Evan Lee goes just a hair wide. Tormenta still in the advantage. The veteran, I mean, that's hit cleanly. It's just not on target. That's astounding. So the home side remain up 1-0. Both sides have had an opportunity from the penalty spot, questionable as they may be, but only Tormenta has taken advantage of it. What an interesting game we've had so far here, folks. Well, for fans of both teams, you can't make the complaint that a game was won or lost because of a bad decision, because now both sides have had one that I would argue neither of which should have been penalties. And now here we are. In a way, the scales have evened out. To now ride this high a little bit and try to push on and really take it to Greenville here before the half concludes. This one gets by Tormenta. Jock was there though. Backs up his goalkeeper, clears it away. Ball sent in, and although redirected towards goal, it's still off target. So once again, if you're just tuning in, the opening game in the USL Jägermeister Cup for the 2025 season for Tormenta and the Greenville Triumph. They'll both get opportunities to play USL Championship teams, but not tonight. Instead, you play an oh-so-familiar foe. So many games, over 20 of them, between the Greenville Triumph and Tormenta. And it's about as close a series as you could get. Right now, the edge goes to Greenville, 10 wins to Tormenta's 9 wins. Also 3 draws to throw in there. As far as some score updates are concerned in the other games in the group, Naples has withheld their lead going into the second half, 1-0 against Charleston Battery. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay Rowdies, a throttling start against Miami, 3-0. That all Florida affair going the way of Tampa right now. Tormenta's next bout in the Jägermeister Cup will be against the Tampa Bay Rowdies, so I'll have to get ready for that. Meanwhile, Greenville, their next Jägermeister Cup game will be against the Charleston Battery, currently trailing against Naples. Saw the rules in the open, but in case you missed it, there are 6 groups in the USL Jägermeister Cup, and 1 group winner from each will advance, and then there are 2 wildcard spots up for grabs. Obviously, it'll be the 2 next best performing teams point-wise, but if there's a tie, the tiebreaker is goals scored, not goal differential, keeping that Jägermeister Cup flair to incentivize offensive play. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Under 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go in this one. The difference, a made penalty for Tunbridge, a missed penalty for Evan Lee. Herrera. Moving up to Robles. Got 1 dirty sleeve. Evans rolls it out to Polak. Robles, just outside the 18. Tapering it out wide. Benton with the cross. Headed out for a corner. Was searching for Castro. Not a bad looking cross. Polak sends this one in. It'll trickle out to the left channel. Mason Tunbridge, the lone goal scorer, is able to roll that one up the touchline. Diagonal ball there from Chapa Herrera. Connor Evans brings it in. Marsh taps it out. Benton rolls it back to Evans. From the right channel, Evans with his left boot. No one's there to receive it. Along with this being the opening match of the Jägermeister Cup, it's also Paws and Claws night for Tormenta. Which is, oh, bring your pets and enjoy some White Claws at a slashed price, and hopefully at least one of those 2 things can attract you to the match. And talking to Ian Cameron, he's got 1 pup himself, a 5 to 6 month old golden retriever, which I'm sure is a handful in a great way and in a bad way. He called the dog a baby brain inside of an adult body right now. So I'm sure that's been quite the adventure. Tunbridge. Dre squaring it to Alves. Alondre, the midfielder. Cabral. That one out to Reed Steven, but it's just too far ahead of him. Couldn't keep it in bounds. So 5 minutes have transpired. Excuse me, 45 minutes have transpired, and 5 minutes are going to be tacked on here. May have spoiled that one a little bit for you there. The way this game has gone, something could manifest out of nothing in a given moment.
5 minutes of stoppage time.
Ultimately, I don't know if there's a team from either side that can be abundantly pleased with how this one has gone. Tormenta do have 3 shots on target to Greenville's 0, which is an advantage they'll enjoy, and they've also got the edge in possession. But I think they could go into the break and feel they could have executed a lot better. They had 1 or 2 opportunities go to the wayside. Meanwhile, for Greenville, of course, there's not any tactical adjustment to missing a pen. You just bemoan that it happened and move on. They still are lacking that ability to generate any sort of threat when they're in the attacking third. I think the biggest example was that opportunity where Rodrigo Robles won the ball back for Greenville. And they ended up not being able to test the goalkeeper, Sam Jones. Worth mentioning, making his pro debut, and also he's the first Tormenta Academy player to do so, starting from the front of the system all the way to playing at the professional level. Had some Academy guys play on Academy contracts, but Sam Jones, the first to go through the entire Tormenta system and sign that pro contract. From the Academy to the 2 team to the first team. And right now he'll be happy with the way things have gone, although was given a yellow card, which resulted in a penalty kick. And although he didn't have much to do about the fact that it's still 1-0, he'll be happy that that's the case. Look at him there. A good look at Sam Jones. Big opportunity for him. Obviously, this is a chance to prove yourself at the professional level. Certainly tough competition he's got here at Tormenta. Austin Pack, who has been a staple in USL League One for years now. Always been so impressive with the independents. But you never know. Whether you put in a good shift and get some more looks here at Tormenta, or it could earn you a look at one of these other League One clubs in the future. Cabral rolling forward. No, lovely ball through. Niall Reed-Stevens can't get by Torment. Played back up top. Tunbridge! Make it 2 for Tormenta. Mason Tunbridge with a brace on the evening, but it took a sacrifice to do it. Niall Reed-Steven denied by Tormenta, does not give up on the play. Tunbridge calls for it and hits it so nicely. Tormenta has to track back. Tunbridge finds the vulnerable spot. And that may be the end of his evening unless they decide to try to hold out till halftime and check if they can mend the issue. But Tunbridge with a brace. The Englishman making his name known in the Jägermeister Cup. Just 24 years old. Reason to play some music here if you're supportive of the home side. 2-0 the scoreline. Whistle sounds, and it could be sounded again at any moment. Tunbridge wave back on, gingerly. Second goal, certainly. Now Tormenta can feel very good about the performance here in the first half. They can look to that as a reward for some of the opportunities they generated. They may not be done here. A collision and a free kick for the home side. Much more action doing here now. Over 6.5 minutes since the 45-minute marker. And now a free kick for Tormenta. This half still not concluded. And this is a dangerous spot. Maybe a little bit tight, but nonetheless dangerous for Tormenta. And scored from a penalty kick and scored an open play. Now perhaps a set piece here. An opportunity to really diversify the way they scored goals in this game. Reed Stevens sneaks it bottom left corner. Tormenta with the save. And that's the last action of the first half. But the action in favor of Tormenta, 2-0 your scoreline. A penalty kick scored by Tunbridge. And a second goal from the middle of the penalty area, rifled home once again by Tunbridge. One other key action in that first half, of course, a penalty conceded by Sam Jones, but Evan Lee couldn't put it away. So the scoreline sits at 2-0 in favor of Tormenta.
And that's the end of the first half.
So they're off to a fantastic start. Can they hang on for another 45 minutes to find the result here on the ESPN Plus? We're going to go to halftime for our content. We'll see you there on the other end of this break here on ESPN Plus.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith-Lang from Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let us take care of all of your child care needs here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infants all the way to your after-schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children. And we have our brand new bus for our field trips, for the children to have fun and to learn and to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possession.
I need to try it first.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health System, we've always provided high-quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you back to Optum Health System.
Welcome back here to Tormenta Stadium, the home side. Happy with how it's going so far. 2-0 your scoreline here in the opening game of the Jägermeister Cup for these two sides. Well, what is the Jägermeister Cup? What's it about? Let's take a look at the explanation of the rules.
This year, the Jägermeister Cup will feature all 24 clubs from the USL Championship and all 14 clubs from USL League One. The 38 teams are placed in 6 groups divided by region. 4 groups will have 6 teams, 2 groups will have 7 teams. Each club will play 4 matches in group play, 2 at home and 2 away. At the conclusion of the group phase, the 6 group winners and 2 wildcard teams will enter the knockout stage. To set the quarterfinals, the wildcards are locked into slots as away teams. Group winners are drawn for spots 1 through 6, then drawn to fill the matchups from match 1 all the way to match 4. In this stage, wildcard teams cannot play against the winner from their respective groups. In the semifinals, the 4 remaining teams will be drawn randomly, and the last 2 teams standing will be drawn to determine the host for the Jägermeister Cup final.
Certainly did a better job of explaining it than I ever could, so fantastic job from the USL there. With that in mind, we're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to talk about some news and notes across the USL. So can't wait to see you there, and we'll chat then.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
3 ice-cold Jägermeister shots, please. Those look warm.
Serve it cold or don't serve it at all. Jägermeister. Damn, that's cold.
A little comfort is knowing someone's there for you. There for your business. There for your community in good times and in bad. with preparation, hard work, and relentless determination. At Georgia Power, we're there when you need us most. We're here for Georgia, and we're here for you.
Welcome back here to Tormenta Stadium. Vibes are high for the South Georgia Tormenta fan base. 2-0 thanks to 2 goals from Mason Tunbridge puts Tormenta up against Greenville 2-0 after 45 minutes. Mark Schoenster with you here on the ESPN Plus broadcast of this opening match in the USL Jägermeister Cup. Here are the news and notes from across the United Soccer League. First off, the US Open Cup, another cup competition, which is being represented nicely by not only the USL Championship, but also 3 USL League One clubs still in it and are going to clash with some MLS sides here not too long from now. Be sure to check in May for that one. Meanwhile, Loudoun United and the Virginia Revolution with a great combination there, providing another pathway to pro in the Nova area, otherwise known as Northern Virginia. With that in mind, this is all talk about other stuff happening in the league. What's going on across the Jägermeister Cup? Here is your scores brought to you by Savannah Hilton Head International Airport. First off, everything got kicked off last night in the Dogwood Derby. Charlotte Independence, the League One team, getting some payback after losing to North Carolina FC in the Open Cup. Meanwhile, bottom left corner, Naples still leading against the Charleston Battery, a home game against the USL Championship side. If you're a USL League One fan, you love seeing that representation. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay up big against Miami FC 3-0. Those are the other 2 teams in Group 6. Lou City and Indy 11, the USL Championship sides, right now doing well against League One stalwarts in the Richmond Kickers and Forward Madison. And here's what's coming up in the Jägermeister Cup for the rest of the night. Once this one is done, there's some great games to tune into. That Omaha New Mexico United game, I definitely would recommend watching that one. That should be very interesting. And then AV Alta Las Vegas Lights, maybe some USL Jägermeister Cup after dark action happening over there. Ultimately, though, these are all great games, especially the cross-conference matches, because, I mean, look, it's an opportunity for some of these League One sides to really prove themselves. And with that, we're going to step aside for break. When we come back, we'll have the highlights and the second half kickoff here on ESPN+. 2-0, thanks to Mason Tunbridge for Tormenta. We'll be back in a moment.
Are you suffering from hip or knee pain? Don't let the pain hold you back. The region's most experienced robotic joint replacement team at Optum Health System offers an individually tailored approach that is more precise and creates smaller incisions. For you, that can mean a faster recovery with less pain. Your comeback starts here. Call today to find out if robotic-assisted joint replacement is right for you.
I'm Michelle Smith-Lang from Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let us take care of all of your child care needs here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infants all the way to your after-schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children. And we have our brand new bus for our field trips, for the children to have fun and to learn and to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possessions.
I need to try it first.
At Savannah Hilton Head International, you can choose from 11 different airlines, including Southwest Airlines, Breeze Airways, and Avelo Airlines. With up to 70 daily nonstop departures and over 30 nonstop destinations, Savannah Hilton Head International gives you more choices for a travel plan that fits your needs. Savannah Hilton Head International. Visit flysav.com.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
This week on USL All Access, we spoke to Switchbacks captain Matt Mahoney.
How the slow start is going to be the fast turnaround for the 2024 title holders. How about Open Cup glory once again for USL Championship teams, the dominating factor in round 3. And last but not least, our final remaining team without a win, Hartford Athletic, finally grabbed 3 points and get themselves into the race in the Eastern Conference.
You don't want to miss it, SiriusXM FC and the USL YouTube page.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. As we welcome you back here on ESPN Plus for the second half of action between Tormenta and the Greenville Tribe. Here's what happened in the first 45 minutes. Had a bit of action to disseminate through in the first 45. First of 2 questionable penalty decisions in this game, but we'll get this shot first from Cabral, parried away by Torment. Now here's the look. Reed Stephen collides with Ajakwa, and Ajakwa is called for the penalty. Really tough break there for the Greenville Tribe, both of which are playing the ball. But Mason Tunbridge makes do with the penalty decision, puts it away, makes it one of 2 goals he would score in the first half. Tunbridge such confident form right now, 5 goals in league play and now 2 goals in just 45 minutes of Jägermeister Cup play. He has been on fire. Then on the other end, a foul that very clearly happens outside the penalty area is called a penalty, a yellow card given to Sam Jones. These refs don't have the ability to look at anything in replay, so it's just spur of the moment. Did you think the foul happened in the box? Ultimately, it wouldn't matter though, because Evan Lee drags the ball wide. Off target, still 1-0. Tormenta with the lead. And then they would make it a 2-0 lead here. Niall Reed-Stevens could not beat Torment, but he does find Tunbridge. And Tunbridge, if there's anything he's proven he can do this season, it's find the back of the net. And he has done it 2 times in the first half and has given Tormenta the 2-0 advantage, which is where they sit now on the other end of the break. And the numbers very much leaning in their direction. A lot of more shots, a ton of shots on target, 5 in the first half. So very impressive from Ian Cameron's side. Thought maybe there was 1 or 2 moments where they weren't dangerous enough on the attack, but you're up 2-0. I think that's a pretty good translation with the output they've had offensively, regardless if one of them came from a questionable penalty decision or not. I think this is about where this game sits at the moment, both via the numbers, via the eye test, and via the scoreline. 2-0. Tormenta trying to keep in pace right now with the likes of Naples and Tampa Bay, all of which looking to get all 3 points in a regulation win, of course. If the game ends in a draw, both teams get a point, and an extra point is on the line at the penalty kick spot, where both teams will, of course, get your 5 takes to claim an extra point. But as of right now, there is no matchup in Group 6 that currently is leading to that. So there will be 1 substitution for Ian Cameron's side as we switch ends of the pitch. And it's a man that Evan Lee there on the left will be all too familiar with. Aaron Walker, longtime Greenville Triumph player, subbing in for the goal scorer Mason Tunbridge, who went down after he scored that 2nd goal. Hopefully he's doing all right and can get that managed. They certainly need his goal-scoring talents. He has been such a weapon for them this season. Back in here at Tormenta Stadium, 2-0 in favor of the home side. Aaron Walker spent 5 years with the Greenville Triumph, over 100 appearances with them. This will be the 2nd time that he's played against his former club. Asked Rick Wright, the head coach of the Greenville Triumph, how strange it was to be going up against Aaron Walker. And he said, surely it is pretty surreal. the guys like Tyler Pollock and Evan Lee and Brandon Fricke, the stalwarts of this Greenville side, still great friends and keep in touch with Aaron Walker. He's a heck of a competitor, Rick Wright said. And I'm sure he'd love to prove himself in this game, Aaron Walker. I mean, no one wants to have to leave a team that has been home for so long. And although, of course, he understands the business side of things, I'm sure he'll look to prove that, hey, letting me go was a mistake. We'll see if he can have that kind of contribution in this game this evening. May not need to be on the offensive end. Tormenta up 2 goals already, of course. Another goal or two would never hurt, especially given the goal score tiebreaker that would be in place for teams vying for those 2 wildcard spots. Obviously, everyone's intention is to just win the group and then not have to worry about that. But look, not everyone's going to win their group. And then you're going to wish you had scored more goals, as this one pops over the top. And it's handled by Seth Torment. Anib Bazzini tried to bring that one down and test the goalie. Cabral rolling it out wide. Alves curling it up for Bazzini again, cleared out. Going into the game, one of the big things worth looking at was which thing would break through. Would Tormenta find some stability defensively, or would Greenville find their footing on the attack, both of which had been struggling up to this point? And now it's an interesting twist to that question, which is the fact that Greenville needs to find goals. So you would anticipate high aggression on the attacking end for Greenville, and perhaps a little less caution as they send bodies forward. Long ball from Ajakwa. Searching for Marsh. And it went across the byline, so our assistant referee, or AR, able to make that call. Once again, my name is Mark Schoenster, excited to be bringing you this one here in the opening weekend of the Jägermeister Cup. The first year was really exciting, brought some interesting twists. Certain teams that were doing poorly in one league were doing great in the other. Sometimes great performance in the Jägermeister Cup resulted in the turning of the tides in league play. Certain players who just exploded offensively in the Jägermeister Cup were able to help that propel them. Bruno Rendon now plays for Indy 11. Able to assist him in making that jump. And now we bring in the USL Championship as well. That ball bounces all the way across for a Greenville throw. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on Sirius XMFC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Benton plays it out wide. Evans. Pass it back to Herrera. Chapa Herrera squares it. Evan Lee with a loose touch. But it's a loose touch from Vivas that gives the ball back to Greenville. Tormenta would love to just take the sting out of this game. 40 more minutes. Choose their opportunities wisely. Keep themselves invulnerable on the back end. But you don't want to get too content with a 2-0 lead. Well, Aaron Walker plays that one away well after the whistle. To be honest with you, I was half expecting a yellow card there. Unless it was previously established that that ball was maybe flat, something was wrong with it, but certainly appeared out of pocket. All this. And the offside flag goes up. Worth noting, if you start in an offside position when a pass is made, even if you go back into an onside position to receive the ball, you were still offside when the pass was executed. So certainly a situation where the flag goes up that's a lot more rare of an occurrence than, of course, when you receive a ball offside and you started offside at the beginning of the pass. But by the letter of the law, that is the correct decision. With the expansion of USL Championship being added into this competition, Rick Wright likes this new format. Head coach for the Greenville Triumph says it feels like another version of the Open Cup. And his side, he felt, gave it a good go last year, even before the addition of the USL Championship. And in a way, it's a great respite from league play, which has been a bit of a struggle for both of these teams so far. So it's a good chance to just start from square one and see if you can get off on the right foot in a different competition. Both of these sides, still looking for that clear, defined image of what they're supposed to be, what they're going to look like this season. Whether you have a lot of new faces like this Tormenta side, or if you do bring back quite a few pieces like Greenville, it doesn't matter. Every year, it's a new season to figure out what you're going to look like. Not just because you do bring in new guys, even if it's few in comparison to the returnees. Every year, players change. They develop and grow. And their roles can morph and change by the years, even if they stay with the same squad, with the same coaching staff. Marsh rolls up to Castro. Castro back in the middle. No one to receive it. At least no one in Greenville colors. Gabriel Cabral was able to do something with it. Draws the foul. And cuts off any opportunity Greenville had there.
Nobody saw it but me and you, man.
Yeah. But now you have an alibi.
It's the 90th minute for Naples, who still have that 1-0 lead over Charleston Battery. Naples went to penalties in the Open Cup against Tampa Bay Rowdies and eventually lost after a very long penalty session. So they nearly were able to get a victory over a championship team. Getting a second crack at it here, and they can just hang on. We'll get the win in regulation. Oh, but they've had 10 minutes added on. They still got a lot of time to go. Looks like there's a lot of time left in this one, although 2-0 for Tormenta. Their track record suggests there's still an opportunity to break through for Greenville. Up to this point in the season, Tormenta have conceded in all but 2 games across all competitions. They won against AV Alta 2-0 back in March. And then in their first Open Cup game against Harbor City, they won 3-0. But outside of that, they have conceded in every match, or in 6 matches straight. Four of those 6 matches, they conceded 2+. Attempting to change the narrative here, Tormenta. I mean, look, it's only April, late April. There's still so many months of soccer action left to be played, both in the Jägermeister Cup and in league play. Both of these sides have now been eliminated from the Open Cup. Cabral gets fouled. And it looks like Rodrigo Robles may have taken the worst of it anyway. Clutching his collarbone. Rodrigo Robles, his 2nd year with the Greenville Triumph. That's good news. Still clutching that collarbone, though. About 80 degrees in Statesboro tonight. If you got your volume up loud enough, you can hear some of the squeaky toys being chewed on in the background by the pups here at the park. Gotta love that. It'll be Cabral to play this one back in. Cabral with the curling effort. Receives it. It's being played along a touchline right now. Greenville will have to find some sort of semblance going forward. Time only becoming more and more an enemy as it wears along. Castro. Turning, plays it back to Polak. Polak, the outside of his boot, connects with Robles, who's back in the game. This one chipped over top. Evans plays it across the center, knocked away by Jones. And it'll be a goal kick after that. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Sam Jones with the interjection there, making his first professional start. First player to go through the Tormenta pipeline and become a pro and make a pro debut. Well, that was precarious. Well dealt with, though. Some pressure from Greenville. Comes to no avail. And now Bazzini up ahead to Vivas. And sliding in is Torment. He went to ground very early there. And Seth Torment is slow to get up. Bazzini plays it up for Vivas. Tormenta traveled some distance whilst on the grass. On the grass, excuse me. Jacqua rolling it back to Tormenta. Good to see him back up on his feet, doing all right. Under 30 minutes to go in this one after 60. A penalty was given. Mason Tunbridge put it away. Then a penalty was given to Greenville. Evan Lee couldn't put it on frame. And before the half concluded, a second chance opportunity found Niall Reed-Stephen putting it on a platter for Mason Tunbridge to rip home, giving him a first half brace. He also may have strained something in the process, so he would not return for the second half. And that is how we sit here at 2-0. Aaron Walker, the former Triumph man, keeping it in play. All this. Niall Reed-Stephen, that's a lovely ball. Need up, the volleyed effort! Couldn't be put on frame, but it was hit cleanly. This is a great ball from Niall Reed-Stephen from the touchline. Put some turn on it. Chipped up and sent towards goal by Aaron Walker. He's scored a goal or two from distance. Both of these sides familiar with that talent that he poses. Yellow card issued to Oscar Jimenez.
Yellow card has been issued to Oscar Jimenez.
Longtime man with Lou City, Oscar Jimenez. Last play with Memphis 901. Now finds his home here at Statesboro. Provides some of that veteran leadership to a side that's full of many young players from ranks at the college level and showed their aptitude. Pollock leaves it for Evans. That one dipping down, headed away. We're getting a lot of young players from the college ranks who make their way to the USL Championship and USL League One levels. And although a good chunk of them play at that Division I level, you're still gonna find guys, and a good group of them who played Division II, NAIA, etc., etc. Some of those other lower ranks, the collegiate sport. Ian Cameron, a guy prior to coaching in Tormenta, has experience both as an assistant coach at the D1 level and as a head coach at the D2 level. I asked him about what are some of the, I mean, how big is the line, the gap between Division I athletes and Division II athletes? And he said, I mean, it's kind of similar to the difference between League One and Championship. Service played inside. Off target for Castro. So two changes here.
Substitutions
as we get
Greenville.
2 changes for Greenville.
Michael Gonzalez subbing in for Evan Lee.
So 2 aggressive changes for Rick Wright. Ajakwa, center back out. Ropapa Mensa, a striker, subs in. And then Michael Gonzalez will step in for Evan Lee. So some serious firepower going out there for Rick Wright as they try to find something out of this game. I mean, think about it. As far as when you approach this competition, goal difference does not matter. So you might as well try and see if you can score some goals in this one. Sure, the ideal result would be you find a bunch of goals in this game and you win it in a crazy comeback fashion, but you got to be realistic. And if you can get a goal here or two, even if it means you concede a goal, that's still better than losing 2-0 as far as the tie-breaking procedures are concerned. Heck, you could concede 3 goals and score 1, and that's a better result as far as the cup is concerned. It may not feel as good for the side, but you understand where my head's at. Leo Castro, one down on the ground being checked on. Castro, a veteran, whereas Sam Jones here in his first professional start, so opposite ends of the experience spectrum. A Tormenta Academy product, making a look, getting the opportunity to represent the badge at the professional level under a professional contract. Big news for him. Leo Castro, 35 years old, the Colombian, his 3rd year with the Greenville Triumph. Back up on his feet, which is good news. Provided a spark offensively in their last game, and he has been such an offensive weapon for this team since he has entered the side. But they may have to perform the rest of this game without him. Looked real sluggish going to the touchline. Rapalita will square it to his center backing counterpart, Jackson Simba Kasanzu. Herrera. To his left for Evans. Vivas taps that by Polak. Sebastian Vivas switches the point of attack. Niall Reed-Stephen plays it in centrally, returns the favor. Niall Reed-Stephen gets it by Tormenta, but also by the goal. Basically, that's what Tormenta will be fishing for the rest of this match, is those counterattacks. Especially with the amount of offensive weapons on the field now for the Greenville Triumph. Want to make sure you have yourself fortified defensively.
Substitutions for Tormenta. Callum Stretch.
So 2 changes for Ian Cameron now. Oscar Jimenez on a yellow card will exit, and Callum Stretch will step in. And then on the top of the formation, Sebastian Vivas' night is over, and the young Jonathan Nianjo subs in. Some more fresh legs for the home side as they look to see this result through. So Tormenta want wanted to find some more consistency on the defensive end. Greenville trying to find a spark offensively. Tormenta certainly the happier of the two in that objective. Greenville with just 3 shots, 0 on target. All those shots coming in the first half of action, mind you. Have been unable to generate anything here despite being down 2 goals. Bouncing ball cleared away by Kasanzu. Great drumming returning here, Tormenta Stadium. So the result has gone final in Naples. FC Naples officially atop the group for now. 3 points in a 1-0 victory against the Charleston Battery. Huge result for Naples and for USL League One. Ropapa Mensa playing that one, looking for Castro, but won't find anybody. That's the first game between a League One team and a championship team that the League One team has been victorious in the Jägermeister Cup. So perhaps a premonition to maybe some of the chaos that Group 6 is going to provide here in this tournament. Tormenta looking to make it 2 teams, 2 League One teams that is, with all 3 points in their first match. Worth noting, Miami FC have come back within 1 goal. They've scored twice to make it 3-2 with 15 minutes to go. Worth reminding, if the game ends in a draw, both teams get a point, and then they go to penalties to fight for an extra point, meaning 2 points total for the winner. Nianjo chips it to the right. Now Reed Stephen. It's returned back to him. Not bad combinations there on the right-hand side, but that final pass from Cabral just too far ahead. Just a rough touch there from Michael Gonzalez. Fricky boots that one up and away. Walker lofts that across the pitch, and then it's headed up. Cabral out wide. Other group action as far as League One interest is concerned. Knoxville with a 2-1 lead over Tulsa. Very interesting. The USL Championship and USL League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Back heel to Niall Reed Stephen. Reed Stephen trying to feed it across. Unsuccessfully. 15 more minutes to go. Ropapa Mensa sends it to the right. Michael Gonzalez plays it back. Another intriguing news, Miami FC have come all the way back to make it 3-3. Evans lofting it to the right-hand side. Gonzalez in the right channel. It's 2-on-1. Benton. And that one knocked away by Alondre. Casanzu able to shrug off Castro. And that'll bounce out loosely in favor of Tormenta. Gunther Rangenberg distributing it to Alves. Goals scored in the first half by Tormenta, a penalty by Tunbridge, and then a late goal on a second chance opportunity also scored by Tunbridge. Well kept in by Niall Reed-Stephen after he was denied by Tormund. One big opportunity for the Greenville Triumph in this one, a penalty awarded in the first half. Evan Lee couldn't put it away. And if you're joining us from that Naples game, welcome you in on the broadcast. Big result for FC Naples, who have had a ripping start as a franchise. No one closing them off, so why not keep going? Nianjo trying to roll it out to Aaron Walker. So whistle blown. And it'll be Tormenta ball here. Watching on ESPN Plus, which will be the home of all the group stage matches here in the Jägermeister Cup. All League One teams, all USL Championship teams. Reed-Stephen, he's been a dangerous proponent in this game. Plays it across, looked like it hit a hand. Cabral can't believe it. Play will go on. Let's take a look at that one again. I mean, that's kind of tough because you don't know if it's right up against his chest or not. DJ Benton. Gonna be a substitution here for Ian Cameron. Alondre will sub out, and stepping in, Andwala Buana. So Buana stepping into the match. Guy who has experience at the MLS ranks, so talk about having a premium player to step in. We've only got 10 more minutes left in the game. Also has 5 years. And he's made appearances in the USL Championship as well. Buana. Teamwork there, able to get out of a tight spot along the touchline. Mensah will track it down for Greenville. He's got Marsh running ahead of him. Plays it up to Castro. Doing well there is Casanzu. Just 4 shots in this game for Greenville, none on target. Tormenta will be very pleased with that. 13 goals conceded in league play. But perhaps this could be what sets a new standard for Ian Cameron's side moving forward. Two more changes coming in. So, Injuri Bigger subbing in, and Ben Zakowski stepping on. So first off, let's talk about the more significant one. Injuri Bigger subbing in, making his debut with the Greenville Triumph. The Academy kid, and if the last name Bigger sounds familiar, he is the younger brother of Jonah Bigger, who was another Academy guy who played with Greenville, got significant minutes, and then went on to play at the continuing to play at the D1 level. Well, the question is now is how upset will it be if I call him the little Bigger? Gone and done it, so we will I've gone and done it now, so. Herrera. Rolling it into the penalty area. Zakowski back up top. And after a couple of pinballing deflections, it's out for a goal kick. Gabi Alves down on the ground. This game is certainly stagnated here in the second half. Been very choppy, which of course plays to the favor of the home side, Tormenta. Already favoring the lead, and don't mind if Greenville are unable to acquire a flow at any point in time. It has been a toil for the visitors to generate anything in this game. Cameron issuing some adjustments while they wait for Alves to be waved back on. What shape they want to take while they are down a man until Alves returns. Here come the Triumph. This one played to the left-hand side. The opportunity gets by the keeper. One back for Greenville. Rodrigo Robles scoring it. Still a lot of footy to be played here at Tormenta Stadium. A clean sheet besmirched for Sam Jones in his debut. Injuri Bigger in his debut. Laying it off nicely for Robles. Will get the assist. And Robles is able to smash it home. Robles with his first goal of the season in any competition. Spent his collegiate time at JMU and prior to that at West Virginia University. found success at both, was able to find the back of the net for both the Dukes and the Mountaineers. Has that given life to Greenville here? It sure does on the score sheet, but will it be amplified on the pitch? Herrera. That one slipping by and into the arms of Sam Jones. Jones, an example of a player playing at Winthrop, although spent most of his time, of course, in the Tormenta system before going off to play college ball there. Still be a positive debut professionally. They can hang on to this one. But now things get shaky. Zakowski. Offside flag goes up, canceling that opportunity for Greenville. And now another player down. Jackson Simba Kasanzu slow to get up. And a lot of players going to the ground in this game, especially in the second half. Just know there's going to be a ton of time added on to this one. Physical game. It's always intense when these two teams clash. That was something that was acknowledged by Rick Wright in particular going into this game. So, as we approach the 90th minute, just how much time is going to be added on. Jackson Simba Kasanzu. Ian Cameron's crew hang on here. Looking to get an explanation from the fourth official. Very demonstrative right now, Ian Cameron. Both him and Rick Wright, great chats to talk to. Always oozing passion for their teams. Had an interesting conversation with Ian Cameron about Chattanooga FC, a club that they took 3 players from in the offseason this year. Mentioned they'd been monitoring them in Nisa. The first of the 3 that caught their eye, their center back, Anatolia Prepalita. Liked him and wanted him for a while, actually, and then Taylor Gray caught their attention as a direct threat, which is what they were looking for, and then you add in JP as a technical fullback. I always like adding those as well, Tormenta. But ultimately, although there isn't a direct connection between the coaching staffs or anything along those lines, just very similar playing styles, so the translation is pretty smooth going from Chattanooga to Tormenta. So not as difficult to fit into the game model here in Statesboro. As we now see confirmation for 7 minutes added on. And Tormenta hang on for another 6 minutes. Or do Greenville have an equalizing goal in them after finding some inspiration with the first goal. And Jerry Biggert in his debut. That one nearly finding Robles. Gonzalez inside. Zakowski looking for the run there on the right-hand side to Herrera. And now Tyler Pollock launching that to the right-hand side, brought down nicely. Evans. A lot of air under that one. Couldn't be kept in play by Zakowski, who gave good chase, but a goal kick at the end of the day. Whistle blows somewhere ahead official. Free kick coming for the Greenville Triumph. You're tuning into this one from another game, whether it be in the Jägermeister Cup or anywhere else. Welcome you in. 2 first-half goals for Tormenta, both by Mason Tunbridge. The first of which, a questionable penalty kick that was awarded, and then he put it away. And then a questionable penalty was awarded to Greenville, was not taken advantage of. And Tormenta scored right before the end of the half. This one headed outward, and that volley didn't connect. Greenville Triumph able to find a goal in the 86th minute here in the second half after a lot of uninspiring play. And it was actually coming from the youngster, Jerry Biggert, who laid it off and found Rodrigo Robles. Another aerial dual collision. This can be dangerous. Part of the game, but ultimately it is where a lot of injuries can take place. Now, another veteran presence being subbed on for Tormenta. Connor Doyle, a longtime League One veteran, will sub in for the rookie, Yaniv Bazzini. Looks to stabilize the middle of the pitch. See this one through to the finish line.
Connor Doyle subbing in for Yaniv Bazzini.
Here's an interesting fact worth mentioning. Tormenta last season in the Jägermeister Cup did not win a single match. It was a really rough performance and rough go in the first edition. 4 losses, 4 draws. They're trying to find their first victory in this competition. They're able to win a couple of those from the penalty spot, but of course that's just 2 points, not a 3 whole points. So this would be their first regulation win, their first full 3 points if they can hang on just a little bit longer. Nianjo. That was well jabbed away by Tyler Pollock, but it will be a corner kick. As we're approaching 97 minutes now, we did have a stoppage or two here in stoppage time. So we'll see how much longer our head official allows this one to go.
Look it out, fans. Corner kick for Tormenta.
Buona. Keep it there. And another corner kick coming. Doyle is trying to find the glance there, won't get it. Greenville may have a chance to get this one down the pitch one last time. Fricky, out to Pollock. Plays that one hard down the pitch, interjected by Tormenta. Push there from Niall Reed-Steven. An extension of the arm, a fair call. But possession only being lost for just a moment for Tormenta. Couple of glances, now a goal kick. This whistle could sound at any moment. Greenville have one more launch within them. One more opportunity. Pollock down the pitch. DJ Benton. The Tormenta bench pointing at their wrists. The whistle looks to be in the ref's mouth. Pollock rips it inside, glanced away. Tormenta wins the ball back, and that'll do it. After an unsuccessful venture in 2024, Tormenta get their first 3 points in Jägermeister Cup history. 2 first-half goals propel them 2-1 over their rivals, the Greenville Triumph. They are able to hang on tight here. And although got a little bit spooky there at the end after Greenville got one back, Ian Cameron's side get all 3 points and keep up with the front of the pack here in Group 6. Now let's take a look at our save of the match, brought to you by Vision Source. A parried away effort in his pro debut. Sam Jones, the first ever Tormenta Academy product to go from academy player to pro contract, making their pro debut. So a fantastic night for Sam Jones. He is 1-0 at the pro ranks. Meanwhile, the Greenville Triumph, we go back to the drawing board once again. And although the final whistle has sounded here, we are not all done on this broadcast on ESPN Plus. When we come back, we'll have the full-time highlights, some closing thoughts, and then we'll send you home. 2-1 your final score. Tormenta victorious, claiming all 3 points.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith-Lang from Kids World Learning Center here in Statesboro, Georgia. Let us take care of all of your childcare needs here at Kids World Learning Center, from your infants all the way to your after-schoolers. We also have a summer camp and holiday camp for those older children. And we have our brand new bus for our field trips, for the children to have fun and to learn and to explore new things all around our beautiful county. Thank you for trusting us with your most prized possessions.
Optum Health System's commitment to you has not changed. Unmatched safety and compassionate care. Others may talk about the new normal, but at Optum Health System, we've always provided high-quality, personalized care safely. If you have recently delayed your care, we want to reassure you we are prepared to care for you. Our absolute commitment to safe, high-quality, personalized care is stronger than ever. We welcome you back to Optum Health System.
I need to try it first.
We welcome you back here to Tormenta Stadium, where Tormenta are victorious 2-1 over the Greenville Triumph, claiming all 3 points here at home in their opening match of the 2025 Jägermeister Cup. Mark Schoenster with you on ESPN Plus as we take you through the full-time highlights here. First off, a penalty drawn by Niall Reed-Stephen. Contact, both players competing for the ball there, but Ajakwa is called for the penalty, given the yellow card. And Mason Tunbridge puts it away. Makes it 1-0 in favor of the home side. 5 goals in league play. Gets his first in Jägermeister Cup play here in 2025. Nicely done by the Englishman. But then, in the 34th minute, Greenville would get the opportunity on the other end. Collision between Sam Jones and Siobhan Marsh. It happened outside the penalty area, but it was a point to the spot by our head official, which means Greenville have a moment to equalize. But Evan Lee, just a little too much width on that shot. Puts it wide, and that would be that. Still 1-0 in favor of Tormenta. And to make matters worse for their rivals, Tormenta would get one more opportunity. Niall Reed-Stephen couldn't get it by Torment. But he keeps his head up, finds Tunbridge. And that's a good person to find because he can do things like that. Would be the last action in the game for Tunbridge, but hey, 45 minutes, 2 goals. That's a pretty good outing, I would say. Would end up being the game winner at the end of things, but Tormenta up 2-0 at that point in time in the match. They would go into the halftime break feeling good, and they would hang on for a good stretch of time. And then the layoff there from the Academy kid, and Juri Bigger finds Rodrigo Robles. He smashes it home, and suddenly things are up for question here. They wouldn't get another chance, though. And the final score would be 2-1. Here are the numbers. Greenville able to take the edge in possession at the end of things in the second half. But ultimately, Tormenta with 13 shots, 6 on target, to Greenville's just 1 shot on target.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.